Welcome to Through the Ruth, where we explore life inside the walls we call home and the lives we build within them. I'm Ruth, property professional, storyteller and lover of all things home. Each week, we'll open the door to real stories behind the scenes of the property industry, design, inspiration and practical tips for shifting house, creating calm spaces and keeping your home safe, secure and beautifully comfortable. Because whether you own, rent or simply dream, everyone deserves to feel at home. So make yourself at home. You're listening to Through the Ruth. I'm your host, Ruth. And whether you're listening while folding, washing, walking the dog, sitting in traffic or hiding in the pantry because it's the only quiet place in the house, you're exactly in the right place. Because let's be honest, home isn't just where we live. It's where we laugh, cry, binge watch just one more episode until it's suddenly midnight and somehow still wonder why we're tired the next day. So today we're diving into a question that sounds incredibly simple. What is our favourite thing to do at home? Now you might immediately think sleep, and honestly, fair enough. If you've got young children, sleep isn't a hobby, it's an endangered species. But it turns out Australians love a lot more than sleeping when it comes to spending time at home. Today we'll unpack why home has become your favourite destination, what we're actually doing there, why it matters for our well-being, and maybe even discover why the smallest moments often become the biggest memories. So grab a cuppa, get comfortable, and let's get to the heart of home. Home has changed. Not the bricks, not the roof, but what it means. A few years ago, many of us treated home like a changing station. We slept there, we ate breakfast there, we argued over whose turn it was to empty the dishwasher and then disappeared for the day. Now, home has become the restaurant. It's become the office for many, the cinema, the gym, the cafe, the classroom. Sometimes all before lunch. And while many of those changes happened out of necessity, they've also reminded us of something surprisingly important. We actually enjoy being home. According to the Australian research into household lifestyles and leisure habits, Australians spend more of their free time at home than almost anywhere else. Activities like watching TV, streaming shows, cooking, gardening, reading, listening to podcasts, and spending time with family consistently rank amongst our favourite ways to relax. Honestly, if someone had told us 20 years ago we'd be happily staying at home on a Friday night watching renovation shows while eating cheese we'd bought on a special, we probably would have laughed. But now it's called living the dream. Let's talk television. Australians spend many hours each week watching TV or streaming content. And we all agree choosing what to watch often takes longer than actually watching it, right? You open Netflix, you scroll, someone says, I don't mind, which translates into Australian meaning, I'll reject every suggestion you make. And then 45 minutes later, you've watched 3 trailers, 2 documentaries you'll never actually watch again, and somehow end up rewatching Bluey. Not because you have kids either, but because Bandit is the father we all aspire to be, maybe. Or maybe it's just brilliant. But here's what's fascinating. Watching something together isn't really about the television, it's about the connection. Shared laughter, inside jokes, being together, that's what home gives us. Another favourite Australian pastime is cooking, or perhaps more accurately, thinking about cooking, looking at recipes, buying ingredients, maybe even watching an Instagram or a TikTok giving us the inspiration. Then ordering takeaway because everyone got tired trying to make those plans. No judgment here. We've all been there. Research consistently shows Australians enjoy preparing meals at home, particularly when it's shared with family or friends. Food has always brought people together. Some of our strongest memories are connected to kitchens. Grandma was teaching us her favourite slice recipe. Dad, for example, might be burning the sausages on the barbecue. Someone just tasting dinner 14 times before it's served. Every family has one person who says, it just needs a little salt, even before tasting it. It's almost a personality trait for them. Home cooking isn't about perfection, it's about belonging. And that's something we're celebrating. Speaking of belonging, let's talk about one of Australia's fastest growing hobbies, which is gardening. Oh, I forgot to turn my cooking clock off in the background, if you can hear that. That's what I like in my house. Mind you, I have to share,
My husband is hearing impaired, and of course, the man who's deaf is the one who owns the bloody cuckoo clock. Anyway, gardening was where I was up to. Apparently, millions of Australians now spend time gardening each year. Some people grow vegetables, others grow flowers. Some of us, we grow weeds with incredible consistency. I don't know how weeds do it. Ignore them, they thrive. Buy expensive indoor plants, name it, talk to it, and it dies out of spite. Gardening reminds us that home isn't just what's inside the walls, it's the spaces outside too. You've got the balcony, the backyard, the front porch, even tiny collections of herbs on the windowsills. Those little spaces slow us down. And maybe that's something that Australians are getting better at appreciating, especially since COVID. Here's something that often surprises people too. Research into well-being consistently shows that feeling safe and comfortable at home has a significant impact on our mental health. Not because our homes need to be perfect, it's far from it. In fact, if your home currently has washing on the couch, dishes in the sink, and mysterious drawer full of cables that belong to absolutely nothing, congratulations, you are normal. Professional organisers may disagree, however, but homes are meant to be lived in, not displayed. The pressure to have an Instagram perfect home can leave people feeling like they're somehow failing. Can I gently suggest something? What about maybe the best homes aren't the perfect ones? Maybe they're the ones where people feel accepted, where friends don't apologise for the mess, where children can build cubby houses out of your furniture and sheets, where grandparents always know the biscuit tin location, and where pets believe they're actually paying the mortgage. That's home. One thing Australians consistently say they value is spending quality time with family. Notice the wording quality, not necessarily quantity, because life gets busy as well. Sometimes the best conversations happen while together or driving someone to sport or sitting on the dinner table long after everyone's finished eating, chatting. Home creates opportunities and it's not perfection, it is connection. There is a big difference, and I think it's something we don't celebrate enough. We also want to acknowledge something important. Not everyone finds home easy. For some people, home has been complicated. Some are grieving someone who should still be sitting at the table. Some are living alone. Some are caring for aging parents. And some are rebuilding after divorce, illness, financial hardship, or loss. If that's you, I'm genuinely glad that you're here because home isn't only a place, sometimes it's something we're slowly rebuilding, room by room, memory by memory, moment by moment. And that deserves compassion, not comparison. Whatever your home looks like today, I hope you know it doesn't need to look like anyone else's to matter. Now, let's settle one very important Australian debate: shoes inside the house. Yes or absolutely not? I'm firmly convinced there's no middle ground. People either walk inside wearing shoes like it's nothing that's ever happened, or they'll chase you down the hallway yelling, "Shoes off!" before you've even closed the front door. Families have rules. Every family has quirks. Some stack the dishwasher scientifically, others create complete chaos. Some people fold their fitted sheets. How you do that, I still can't work it out. Sorcery. I don't trust those people. They're clearly wizards. But those funny little habits, they're part of what makes our home uniquely ours. When we think about favourite things to do at home, maybe it isn't just watching the television or gardening or cooking or reading. Maybe it's something much bigger. Maybe what we really love is feeling like we belong. Because home is where we're allowed to exhale, where we don't have to perform, where we can wear old track pants that should have been retired maybe 5 years ago and certainly wouldn't be decent out in public, where the coffee tastes better, the laughter sounds louder, and somehow the dog still ends up on the couch despite everybody agreeing that it wasn't going to happen. Home isn't perfect, and neither are we. Thankfully, it doesn't have to be. Thank you so much for spending this time with me on Through the Ruth. If today's episode made you smile, made you think, or reminded you of someone special, I'd love you to follow the podcast and share it with someone who loves talking about home as much as I do. Because every week I'll explore another part of what makes the house a home. We'll share stories and ideas, insights, real conversations, and maybe a laugh or two along the way. I'd also love to hear from you. So what's your favourite thing to do at home? Is it baking? Is it reading? What do you do with your traditions on movie nights? Is it gardening or is it absolutely nothing? Maybe you like a nana nap on the couch on a Saturday afternoon as the one time for the whole week that you get to do it. There is no wrong answer. You can connect with the podcast on social media and you can join conversation because some of the best stories come from listeners just like you. So until next time, look after yourself, look after the people you love, and remember home isn't measured by square meters, it's measured by the moments we create inside of it. I'm Ruth and this is Through the Ruth.
If you've enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow Through the Ruth wherever you get your podcasts. And if you've got a story about your home and your experiences, I would love to hear from you. You can reach out ruth@thepmboutique.com.au. So until next time, take a deep breath, look around and remember, home is what you make it.